What's up guys, I'm here with another video. Welcome to episode 109 of Let's Build the City. Today we're building a Target store. So yeah. Alright, let's build a Target store.
Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make your very own Target store. And not only have I built the outside for you to enjoy, ladies and gentlemen, but I have also built the entire inside of Target as well. However, this is what we are going to be focusing on in this part of the video. This is part one. We will just be making the entire outside of the store. In part two, we will focus on all of this and all of this. So if you're new to the channel, I would highly recommend subscribing and clicking that little bell next to the subscription button so you make sure that you don't miss part two of this video. And without any further ado, that's pretty much it, everybody. Let's get started. Now, just before we get started, everybody, here,
Let's grab the materials we need. Put concrete, block of quartz, stairs.
all of the materials that we are going to be using throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of those materials and enough of them as well. The amount of space required to make your target, and this includes the big car park at the front of the building, is a 52 by 69 block area as represented by the giant white grid on the ground. Do feel free to make this grid in your world if you do feel as though it will help you out. If you're planning a city, this is almost a must. And that's it. Pause the video if you have to. Make sure you've got all that stuff. Make sure that you've got enough room to make it. Make sure you're ready, and once you are, we can go shopping. Step one, my store building friends. Come all the way over to the front right hand corner of your grid, if you've made it. From the front right hand corner, I want you to count backwards a lot. We're going to count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. We're then going to count to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. This is the starting position. The whole purpose of that was to make sure that if we built the grid, this is actually going to fit where we want it to be, so it's quite important. On top of this block, place yourself 4 light grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4. I then want you to extend the left by 16.
16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And join all the way down to the ground. In addition to that, I want you to place a birchwood plank front and left in relation to the light grey concrete that you just placed on the ground. Place the birchwood plank, and then place 11 more on top of it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. What I also want you to do is I want you to come back towards the front, and we extended the light grey concrete across by 16, but I also want you to extend it backwards by 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to join that down to the ground, just like this. So, not only do we have some light grey concrete extended left, but we also have some extended back as well. That's going to become important later on, but not so much now. Return back to the row of birchwood planks. I want you to left of the birchwood plank row, here, right the way at the bottom, place a red concrete. And I want you to extend it upwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take the bottom block and place 2 glass in front of it. I'm using the black stained glass pane. 1, 2. Place a red concrete in front. Place 2 glass going left. 1, 2. And then a red concrete. Place 2 glass going left. And then a red glass pane. 1, 2. Place a red concrete in front. Place 2 glass going left. 1, 2. And then a red concrete. Place 2 glass going left. And then a red concrete. Place a glass, gap, glass, red concrete. Then 2 more glass, 1, 2, red concrete, 2 more glass, red concrete, like this. So we have a whole complex row. We're then going to extend the red concrete backwards by 2 glass, 1, 2, red concrete, 2 glass, red concrete. Then you can extend that red concrete upwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. Perfect. And I want you to do the same with all of the other red concrete. So go all the way around. We're going to raise them all up. And what this is going to be is basically the front entrance to our target. Now there is a small back entrance as well, but honestly it's a little bit inconsequential in comparison to the rest of it. This is where the customers will be entering. So that's what we want to have right there. What I also want to place is 2 additional rows of glass. Now this is going to be tricky, but we want to place 2 rows of glass on top of every single other glass that we have placed around. So 2 rows of glass on top of every single layer of glass that we have. So in total we're going to have 3 rows as we go all the way around our entrance. Honestly, this might take a little bit of time. It's probably easier to place the glass on the sides actually, rather than try and place it on top of each other like that. We're then going to place a layer of every single layer of glass that we have. So in total we're going to have 3 rows as we go all the way around our entrance. Honestly, this might take a little bit of time. It's probably, we want to place what we want to have right there. What I also want to place is 2 additional rows of glass. Now this is going to be tricky, but we want to place 2 rows of glass on top of every single other glass that we have placed around. So 2 rows of glass on top of every single layer of glass that we have. So in total we're going to have 3 rows as we go all the way around our entrance. Honestly, this might take a little bit of time. It's probably easier to place the glass on the sides actually, rather than try and place it on top of each other like that. We're then going to place a layer of red concrete all the way around on top of the glass like this. So all the way around like this. Oh, we missed a couple of rows, but that's okay. We can easily place it underneath the row of red. There we go. It actually makes it easier now, so there we are. And now, what you would then want to do is place yourself some glass above the red concrete. So this glass is actually going to sit directly in between all of the red concrete. So you're not only going to want to place just 1 layer of glass, you're actually going to want to place 2 layers of glass, just to completely fill in the area. You guys know that often when you go into supermarkets, you've kind of got, or stores in general, you've quite often got like, I kind of call it an airlock. It's basically like, sometimes you can keep like weird sort of things that are kind of like on sale, kind of in this little part. It's basically just like an intermediate between the outside and the inside of the store. So that's what we want to have so far. we're going to place light grey concrete on top of it. So all the way around the on top of it, just like this. And what you can do, or later on what we can do, we're not going to do it now, is you can add a little bit of glass to it too, but that's going to be up to you. We're going to add a little bit of block of quartz on top of the grey, like this, or you could add 2 rows of light grey, it doesn't matter too much. And then you can place upside down quartz stairs around the top, and this basically just makes it look a little bit more interesting. Like, we've used a few different colours now rather than just like grey and red and stuff, so that's kind of like the entranceway pretty much complete, ladies and gentlemen. And what we're then going to do is we're going to grab our birchwood planks again, and we are going to come to the left side here of the target store. And we're going to place a birchwood plank extending out of the back side of the opposite side of the entrance. And we're going to then extend this birchwood plank here to the left by 2. 1, 2, just like this. We're going to place 9 blocks on top of this birchwood.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just like that. That's pretty good. And we're also going to extend all of these 9 blocks backwards by 24.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, like this. And now, this is going to be tricky, but basically what we have to do is extend this 24th block all the way across the build, right? All the way across. And we want to join it diagonally, this is the tricky part, diagonally to the light grey concrete that we placed earlier. So you can see how everything comes full circle. Well, not so much circle, unless you don't know what a circle is. More rectangular-ish, really. But that's exactly what we want to have. You can see how it all joins together rather nicely. And what I also want you to do is 2 things. Number 1, you can see that we have 2 rows of birch wood around the build, right? They're right at the front now. You want to take the top birch wood here, the middle one, and you want to extend it backwards, all the way back, and you want to join it all the way down to, not there, whoops, and you want to extend it backwards, and you want to join it all the way down like this. And you want to take that other birch wood here that we have, and you want to extend that backwards. You can join it down to the corner as well. That'll help you a little bit later on when we start building the walls. And you then want to extend it across like this. So the purpose of doing that is, you can see we have 2 different sizes of the store. Like, one half of the store is lower than the other half of the store. You can even extend this corner of birchwood plank across like this, and you can even join it underneath if you want, because we're going to have a false ceiling inside, so it doesn't really matter too much. And you can join it across like that, so you can see this half of the store is actually a little bit higher on the outside than that half of the store. In addition to doing this, what you can also do is you can place birchwood planks around the top and outside of your light grey concrete like this, yeah? And you can actually join to where we joined diagonally earlier, if that makes sense. So hopefully you guys can see what we're kind of doing. We're making an interesting shape. When it comes to this window area as well, you can add a row of birchwood slabs to kind of half hide the light grey concrete around the top of the windows like so. And you can extend the corner up here, the corner of birchwood planks, you can extend it up and join it across like so. And we can take this corner and we can extend it backwards like this, and we can join it down to the corner too. There we go. And then you can extend this across just like so, and what we will eventually have is this. So you can see that we kind of have all of these segments somewhat worked out now, don't we? We kind of have them all worked out. So that's looking pretty good. We kind of have a nice template really of what we're going to be doing. And it might be good if we fill these in, to be honest with you. So, we're going to fill the entire right side of the store in using virtual planks. All of this is going to take a very, very long time to do. Honestly, I should probably put this part of the build down. To be quite honest, it'd probably be a lot better, but that's okay. We can fill it all in together. We want to fill the end.
So guys, I won't actually, basically, what I was thinking of today is basically to make, I'm going to make this live stream a little long because I'm going to build the entire Target store in this video. I might or might not. I might cut off the video, but I might or might not. I'll see. There we go, that didn't take a long time. Building this side in.
I right side in using virtual planks. We aren't really adding any additional windows around the build that we don't already have them built in. And that's what the right hand side, by the way, looks like once it's filled in with virtual planks. We're going to fill the front in now. This is the part above the windows. Now the reason that we're not adding any additional details, and as you guys know, supermarkets or markets or stores in general have loads of stuff plastered against the walls. We have loads of aisles, we have...
So guys, I'm just filling in this front. There we go. Didn't take a long time.
Stands and all sorts of things. And by the way, that is what the front will look like. We're going to come all the way over to the right side and the back side now, and we're going to fill both of these in using virtual planks too. The back of the entrance actually has a little bit of a different plan for it, so we'll be tackling that in just a second. Anyway.
So I'm going to build the entire Target store in this video. So this live stream might be a little long, so make sure you guys sit back, relax, get some popcorn or get a snack, and then watch this video if you want to.
We are not going to be adding any additional details because pretty much everywhere around the sides of our build we have stuff. There's not many places that we would even be able to add something without it looking a little bit strange. Say for instance, if we wanted to add windows to this back side of the build and kind of stuff. There's not many places that we would even be able to add something without it looking a little bit strange. Say for instance, if we wanted to add windows to this back side of the build that I'm kind of working on now, we have a lot of fridges here, a lot of fridge and freezers. We'd kind of have to make the store a really weird shape to accommodate it. So we're not adding much detail around the sides. Most of the build is actually covered up by a 2-block high wall that we're going to be placing around anyway, so don't worry about the lack of detail. But, you know, again, if you do want to add these things, if you do want to make it a little bit different, you are more than welcome to. So we want to have that. We're also going to fill this side in too. If you wanted to, you could actually extend this outwards a little bit because, as you might realise, it's a little bit flat, isn't it? I do suppose. It's a little bit flat out the back here, but I'll show you in a second. Like this area here is a little bit flat, isn't it? So if you wanted to, you could even like extend this a little bit further backwards, and it would make it look a little bit more 3D, so to speak. So you can extend it out the back, and we'll just like this won't serve any purpose other than aesthetic. Aesthetic meaning it's not going to actually do anything. It's for no real reason except that it looks a little bit better, and it won't impact the inside of the build. You see, the interior is completely built around the fact that the inside of the build is the way that it is. So we don't really you add that little bit of a wall in there, it does make it look a little bit more interesting rather than it just being flat. So now that we've filled those sides in, what you can also do is you can just fill in just here. You can fill in these little gaps here using birchwood planks too, like this. So there. And we're also going to add the roof and stuff like that. But first, what I want to do is I want to work on the inside of the entrance here, because really, we should do it because it's kind of interesting. What I would like you to do is I would like you to take this kind of like horizontal row of red concrete that runs throughout the entire entrance. I want you to take this row and I want you to extend it left and join it to where it would join on the right, or from left to right, right to left. You guys get the idea. And I want you to extend the red concretes upwards and downwards, kind of in the corners like this. And I want you to place the red concretes that we have on the front of the entrance. I want you to place them on the back of the entrance. So we're just mimicking what we already have. So again, as I mentioned, it's kind of what I refer to these things as like an airlock. We just kind of like want to extend it in the story a little bit. You can fill this little area in here with, say, like birchwood planks, and we'll cover up the red concrete here too. We also want to have the birchwood planks kind of like extend around and kind of like just join on the side here. Maybe we'll even have it jut out a row, kind of like how we have it on the left side. And it's basically, you guys have walked into these many times, I'm sure. It's just the space, and we'll fill this in, fill up a bit in using birchwood planks too. This is just the area that you walk from the, it's just the space, and we'll fill this in, fill up a bit in using birchwood planks too. This is just the area that you walk from the outside in to the inside of. It's just this, we'll even have it with planks, and we'll cover up the, I refer to these things as like an airlock. We just kind of like want to extend it in the story a little bit. You can fill this little area in here with, say, like birchwood planks, and we'll cover up the red concrete here too. We also want to have birchwood planks kind of like extend around and kind of like just join on the side here. Maybe we'll even have it jut out a row, kind of like how we have it on the left side. And it's basically, you guys have walked into these many times, I'm sure. It's just the space, and we'll fill this in, fill up of it in using birchwood planks too. This is just the area that you walk from the outside in to the inside, or vice versa. So, just like this. And we're going to place glass in here too. Sometimes in supermarkets and stores and stuff around here, like quite often you'll have like quick and easy things that people might want to grab. So like quite often times there's like garden stuff here, and there's stuff that the supermarkets are really trying to get rid of. So there's like promotional items and such. So
hello Dragon, welcome to live stream.
Space in
Can I join? I don't have PlayStation Plus. Nah, sorry.
But you can fill this up later on with all sorts of fun stuff if you like. But you can see now that's looking a lot better, isn't it? And what I'm going to recommend as well is...
Well, I don't have PlayStation Plus. My game is not multiplayer.
So just dig underneath all of the glass and replace it using red concrete, because it looks way better. So here, and here, and here. How many times do I have to say that? Here and here, here and here. We're not going to do that. This is all going to be quartz. That's going to be the informed material, but you can see it just looks better now, doesn't it? It just looks a little bit better. You can fill this.
Okay. Yeah.
Here and here. We're not going to do that. This is all going to be quartz. That's going to be the informed material, but you can see it just looks better now, doesn't it? It just looks a little bit better. You can fill the ceiling in here. You can fill it in with either like block of quartz. I'll probably use block of quartz. You can fill the ceiling with block of quartz, and you can add some lighting to it later on. An alternate idea is to have a skylight here in the entrance, but the only thing is when it comes night time, I mean, it's going to be dark, so we'll probably add some artificial light of some sort inside there, or we'll fill it in with glass later. I don't quite know yet. So there we go. We've that's looking pretty good so far. So now we kind of like have this worked out. Oh, and also add some glass here on the left and right sides for the inside door, same as the outside. When it comes to the top of the buildings, we want to make the tops look a little bit better. So we're going to add 2 wide door, same as the outside. When it comes to the top of the buildings, we want to make the tops look a little bit better, so we're going to add 2 rows of block of quartz on top of all of the birch planks. So on top of all of the birch planks like this. And I know that we've made it different by adding that little wall in there, what I would call a false wall meaning like it doesn't really do anything. We can place all that there, and we also want to have the same for the larger part of the building. You'll see what a difference it makes in a second. Like you might have realised that obviously that part was flat anyway, so it's like, because it's flat, but you'll see when it comes to the roof why it's a bit of a better idea just to have a little bit of a why it's better to have a little bit of depth. But again, you'll see that in just a second, and I think that you guys will agree that we made the right decision on this. So we have all of that block of quartz, and we're going to fill the roofs in. This is another time for some. What would we say? You know what? I'm going to use light grey concrete. I realise I've got to destroy a couple of rows, but I think I'm going to use light grey concrete just to create some contrast. Now this is where some customisation comes in. Depending on what sort of lighting you are looking for when it comes to your target store, that rhymes, you can add some skylights in the top of the store. That's an easy way to get a lot of light in the store without having to try too hard. We're going to create all of the light inside the store, and when we get to the inside of the tutorial in part 2, it's all actually artificial. You don't need any extra light coming from anywhere else. But that being said, you can, if you want to alter the build, you can just make the top of this glass, and then that way it's completely lit up. Then you can add the false light as well if you want, and then it'll be very, very bright during the day, and then during the night it'll be probably a little bit less dim, depending on how much light you add in torches, lanterns, blah blah blah. End rods. End rods actually provide a good source of light, especially for what we're going to be using them for in the next part of this. Because I don't know why, but those weird hanging lights that you quite often see at supermarkets and like convenience stores and stuff, kind of fascinating. I really like them. The ones where they're like, they've got like 2 ends and they're kind of like dangly, and they've kind of got those like weird bars of convenience stores and stuff, especially for what we're going to be using them for in the next part of this. Because I don't know why, but those weird hanging lights that you quite often see at supermarkets and like convenience stores and stuff, kind of fascinating. I really like them. The ones where they're like, they've got like 2 ends and they're kind of like dangly, and they've kind of got those like weird bars of light in between them. You guys are going to see exactly what I'm talking about. But the reason that I chose to fill the roof in with light grey concrete instead of the quartz was an easy option. Light grey concrete makes sense. It looks like a material you'd be able to walk around on top of the store if you wanted to. So if you wanted to add any like HVAC or anything like that, then you absolutely could. I'm not going to, because I think it's just a detail that I'm not interested in adding. Like, you can if you want. It depends how realistic and crazy you want to get with these things. But these buildings are kind of like, how would I describe the city buildings? Like, I like them to be functional. I like them to make sense. I like it when people walk inside them and they're like, oh wow, this is crazy. This is what we'd find. But I don't like to add completely all of the things that you would expect to find in like a supermarket or a store, because I think it's a little bit too crazy. But that's what the roofs look like, ladies and gentlemen. They're kind of looking a bit blocky at the moment. But what we're going to do is add some quartz stairs around the tops of the second layer of quartz block. So the second layers of quartz block, you guys already know. We're going to place quartz stairs around them. And this is where it makes the difference, by the way. This is what... I extended out because now upstairs quite satisfyingly kind of like join and connect around them in quite a clean way. Beforehand, I wouldn't say that was so clean. So we're going to go all the way around the top, and we're going to do the same thing here. And it's quite a satisfying part of the building. Quartz stairs around them. This is where it makes the difference, by the way. This is why I extended outwards, because now the quartz stairs quite satisfyingly kind of like join and connect around in quite a clean way. Beforehand, I wouldn't say that was so clean. So we're going to go all the way around the top, and we're going to do the same thing here. And it's quite a satisfying part of the building to place. I always love it when the roofs are done. And most of the walls are done. We only have a little bit of... we've got a little bit of windowage to add. We've got some floors and stuff. But for the most part, I mean, this really is sizing up. I mean, we've got quite a huge building so far. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to, now that the roof's done, we're going to join the light grey concrete area at the front right-hand corner of the building. We're going to join it all together at the bottom like this. So we're going to frame it a little bit more. We are going to leave gaps of 3 between the ends and corners of the light grey concrete, so like 1, 2, 3, and we're going to join the tops and bottom of the light grey concrete area upwards and down like this. So we're basically just adding in windows. We're going to fill these windows up using the black stained glass pane or any other block that you really want, as long as it is a transparent or, you know, opaque sort of block. As long as you can see, as long as it would make sense for a window, then then it will look good. So there we are. That's looking decent. I like that. What we are now going to do is we are going to focus on the sign. So the sign actually has 2 components, and we're going to make some of it before we do the other part. I know that sounds vague, but I'm going to recommend that you move your white banners, your white die, and your red die up into the top left-hand corner of your inventory, and I'm going to recommend you grab a loom. It's vague, but I'm going to recommend. What we are now going to do is we are going to focus on the sign. So the sign actually has 2 components, and we're going to make some of it before we do the other part. I know that sounds vague, but I'm going to recommend that you move your white banners, your white die, and your red die up into the top left-hand corner of your inventory, and I'm going to recommend you grab a loom. If you don't have a loom, I'm really sorry about that. So we're going to chuck the loom down on the ground, and we're going to crack it open, and we are going to put a brand new white banner in the loom. We have to make a T, so chuck all the red up into the top left-hand corner of your inventory, and I'm going to recommend you grab a loom. If you don't have a loom, I'm really sorry about that. So we're going to chuck the loom down on the ground, and we're going to crack it open up into the top left-hand corner of your inventory, and I'm going to recommend you grab a loom. If you don't have a loom, I'm really sorry about that. So we're going to chuck the loom down on the ground, and we're going to crack it open, and we are going to put a brand new white banner in the loom. We have to make a T, so chuck all the red dye in, and place a vertical row of red dye straight up the middle of the banner. Grab that banner, put it back in the loom, and place the horizontal row of red dye across the top. Grab that banner, that is T. We're going to make A now, so white banner in the loom, and you can stick with the top row of red dye along the top of the banner. We're going to make the vertical row of red dye on the right side, the vertical row of red dye on the left side, and we're going to have the horizontal row of red dye straight through the middle, and that is going to be A. We're now going to make R. We're going to chuck a brand new banner in the... Well, for some reason I don't want to take the banner, hang on. There we go. So R. Vertical row of red die up the left side. Put it back in. Horizontal row of red die along the top. Pull it back in. Diagonal row of red die, top left corner to bottom right corner. That's the banner done, so that is R. Possibly the hardest letter, this is going to be G, so we're going to chuck this in the banner. And you want to start off with a vertical row of red die along the right side of the banner, top to bottom. We grab that, get the red die out, put the white die in, and you want to place a half, like completely fill the top half of the banner in using white die. Then you can grab that banner, put it back in the loom. We want to use red die now instead of the white here. And we're going to continue on. So we're going to place a horizontal row of red die along the bottom of the banner, grab it, put it back in, vertical row of red die along the left side of the banner, top to bottom, grab it, put it back in, and finally a horizontal row of red die along the top of the banner, grab it, you can take it out because that is your G. Now we just have to make key, which is very, very easy as well. We can begin by placing the horizontal row of red die along the top of the banner, the middle row of red straight through the banner, and the bottom horizontal row along the bottom of the banner, and then we just have to make the side, so this is a vertical left side of the banner, that is just the E, and you will have T, A, R, G, E, and of course we have another T, so you might have to make another T if you're in survival, but I'm sure you guys will make it. So, I want you to come all the way up to the top right-hand corner of your target. You're looking for this birchwood plank that we have here, like literally top right-hand corner. You can go no higher or no lighter. You want to move downwards diagonally by 1 to the left. Move down 1, and this is the starting position. So alternatively, like down 1, 2, left. Here we go. Place a red concrete. 2 underneath. 1, 2. Place a red concrete bottom left diagonally. Left 2, up left diagonally, up 2, up right diagonally, right 2, and then place a red concrete right in the middle. So that is, as you guys know, pretty much mostly the logo. Circles are hard. What we then want to do is we want to place target. Now, target is actually going to, it wants to be a little further away from this, but the easiest way to place it is backwards. So this red concrete here on the left side, this upper one, we want to leave a gap of 1, and we want to place T, E, G, R, A, T. Target. Perfect. So you just want to leave a gap of 1 between there and there. And then I found this really helps to kind of like smooth the sign off. It works quite nicely. If you leave half a gap underneath the actual letters, and you place a row of a quartz slab that is as wide as the letters and the sign off, it works quite nicely. If you leave half a gap underneath the actual letters, and you place a row of a quartz slab that is as wide as the letters themselves, I find that that looks a little bit better. So says me. You do what you like, of course. What we are now going to do is we are going to focus on a few different things at once. So there will be a little bit of fast forwarding throughout this. There will be a little off-camera work, but it needs to be. So first we're going to make a trolley area, or what, a shopping cart area. Iron bars, cauldron, oak fence and gates. You can use any sort of little off-camera work, but it needs to be done. So first we're going to make a trolley area, or what, a shopping cart area. Iron bars, cauldron, oak fence and gates. You can use any sort of fence gates that you like. We'll also need for this part some smooth stone. We will need some chisel quartz block, and I don't think we need anything else, but I'm offering one. Okay, so first of all, we're going to make the shopping cart area. It's quite easy to do. We take the bottom front right-hand corner of target, and we leave a couple of rows gap, so literally probably a couple, just like 1 or 2, and then we place an iron bar. And we can extend that iron bar all the way over to the left. We are looking for this specific spot, and you'll see why it makes sense. So, where we have this light grey concrete here between these 2 windows, we want to have iron bars. And we're going to extend this iron bar forwards a few rows, probably literally a few, I guess, like 1, 2, 3. And we want to extend the iron bars forwards every time there is a separation in the window. So does that make sense? Can you see why we've done that? and we're just going to place shopping carts inside of this space. So it's actually going to be easier. And we're going to be reflooring this place, right? We're going to be reflooring this place with smooth stone. So before we place all the cauldrons, I'm going to suggest specifically this area, just digging it all out and replacing it with smooth stone first. You see, that's exactly what would happen. We've already deleted one bar. Let's not delete any more of them, I guess. So here, perfect. And then we can just place the iron bars. Perfect. And there we go. Let's place underneath all the iron bars, and then it will be easier. And this is basically just a cart return. You can make this fancier if you like. You know, you can add like posts to it and all sorts of stuff if you wanted to. But I kind of wanted a simple design, make it nice and easy. And just place some shopping carts. This can be any particular pattern that you like. It could be that, for instance, or you could say like kind of like that, or like you could have them kind of like these remind me of pan pipes, if you guys know what those are. You know, you can just kind of have them like that. Just make sure that the ends of the carts have some open fence gates on them, and it just looks like they're all stacked together. So, you know, it looks like those are. You know, you can just kind of have them like that. Just make sure that the ends of the carts have some open fence gates on them, and it just looks like they're all stacked together. So, you know, it looks pretty cool. And what I mentioned, like if you wanted to, I'd say like a corner to them or something like that. If you wanted to make a bit of a feature out of it, where are the fences? If you wanted to make a bit of a feature out of it, and honestly, you can keep that. It really doesn't stop. So, like if you wanted to, like you could stick a wall like in the corner or something like here, and you could add like a couple of fence on top of it, and you could have like a kind of like here. You could place like, you know, carts in here, or a wall like in the corner or something like here, and you could have like a couple of fence on top of it, and you could have like a kind of like here. You could place like, you know, carts in here, or you could even just have some like banners or something like that to kind of like signify that, you know, just to kind of like mark it out. It depends how far you want to go with this one. You know, you could have some colours of banner just kind of like hanging off, just to kind of I don't know, it just kind of like mark the area, or perhaps you could even have like a light on top of it, or, you know, something akin to that would be fine. So like a beacon, or an actual light, or perhaps like a lantern, or, you know, something like that, if you wanted to. But again, add all of the detail that you like, or add as little detail as you like. Was perhaps like a lantern, you know, something like that, if you wanted to. But again, add all of the detail that you like, or add as little detail as you like. What's important though is how much smooth stone we are going to place around our target, and I'm going to show you how you can work it out. So we take the most outward part of the front of target, which is here, where we have the this like entrance, and we want to leave a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4 in front of target, and we're going to use our smooth stone to mark that out. On the left side, we're going to leave a gap of 2, so just like 1, 2, just on the left side of target. We're going to do the same on the back. We'll take the most outward point, which is here, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, or just 2. It doesn't really matter too much. And on this side of target, we take the most outward point, and we do 2. So why have we done all of that? Why have we marked all of that out? Well, if you figure out the space that you want between all of the sides, all you have to do is take one of the sides and dig and join it. Is that right? I hope I went too far there. You've just got to dig and join it all up. I've made such a mess of this, but you guys will get the idea. You can dig around and join it all up, and you can make a solid shape.
Hold on guys, I'll be right back.
of the entire area anyway. It's going to be a big car park out the front, so there's actually going to be very little to no grass. But you guys get the idea. Like, if you know how much empty space you want to have around your target, you can kind of like mark it out, dig it all out, and then that's that. And then you can just like fill it in. You can add whatever material it is you're looking to use for the inside, or for rather for the pavement or walkway around your target. And once you've figured that out, then you can just, like I said, make a shape out of it, dig it all out, fill it in, and it will look great. And I'm going to be using smooth stone because that's kind of my go-to kind of like walking around pavement. That's kind of the area that's going to be dug out using the smooth stone. When it comes to the interior, and this is a very important part, the interior floor I'm going to completely dig out, and I'm going to replace it using block of quartz. That's very, very important. Completely dig that out and replace it with block of quartz. Directly above where this area is here, so basically, you know where the light grey concrete is here? This is where I want the ceiling to be for the inside of our target. I always say I'm going to have a false ceiling. So this isn't actually where the actual ceiling is. Of course, it's a few rows higher. That's why you'll have to modify things if you do want a skylight of any sort. But we're going to have huge amounts of fake lighting here, and it's going to be really well lit up. But that is where we are going to be putting the ceiling, directly above where the entrance is here.
The first thing I work on for target is the floor. I know I have a lot of digging out to do, but I'm gonna do it. I hate bats. They always just... Why do they come anyway when I ever have a dark interior of a build? They always have to, like, you know, they always have to show up. Oh, I hate bats. Sometimes I have to kill them with my netherite sword. With a sword. Because they're just so annoying. Like, why did Minecraft add bats? Look, I mean, for an example, look. 2 bats inside of the build. The reason why they're there is because it's dark. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of everything except for the block of quartz and chiseled quartz. Grab my netherite sword because these bats are starting to annoy me now. Hey, come here. Come here, you. These bats are annoying me. Come on. Get over here, you little bugger. Oh, thank you. Managed to get him. Up again. I killed those bats, but now I hate these bats. They always keep coming whenever a builder's dark. They're there. I can't do anything about that, so well, I can do something about that. I can kill them. Come here. Come here. You're not going to be in my target. No bats allowed in my target. You're breaking the rules, bats. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to kill you. Oh, these people. Oh, these are smart bats. Oh, there we go. Managed to kill him. Managed to kill one. Now, please, no bats. I don't want any more bats. I swear. But are you serious? You know what? I'm placing some lanterns in here. There we go. Just for a little bit of light. Nah, screw it. I'm gonna set it today. And I'm gonna kill these bats once again. Oh, stop! Bloody bats! Come here! Bloody hell, if I see them again one more time, I'm gonna go. Why are these bats always... Oh, I just hate them. Bats are the most annoying animals in Minecraft. I'm marking the bats as the most annoying animals in Minecraft because they always come in dark builds that I make. Now, whenever I put a roof on something, these bats are just in there. And can I do something about that? Yes, I can. I can kill them. But it's going to be hard digging all of this out because these bats will block it. Ha! Caught you. Caught you, I swear. If they come back, then I'm freaking out. Are you serious? They're in the roof. No, I'm just going to ignore them. They're starting to piss me off now. Bloody bats. Excuse me, bats. Can you please get out of my target, please? I don't want any bats in my target store. I don't want any lurking bats in my target while people shop. I want this to be a nice, clean target. I don't want it to be lurked with bats. Now, these bats right here are are the most annoying animals in Minecraft, aka mobs. The bats are the most annoying animals in Minecraft. You wanna know why? When I put a roof on a build, these bats show up. Do you wanna know the reason? I don't know. Bats are everywhere. Come here and stay out. And you better stay out for life. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. There's only one bat left. Come here. You? Ha. What, are you kidding me? Oh my god. These bats are starting to annoy me now. I'm filling in the floor. Why'd they even add bats in the first place? They're just some of the most annoying mobs in Minecraft. Because they lurk around builds with no light. And that's what they do. They fly around. What do they do? I'll show you. Sometimes when you're filling in the floor of a big build or something, they sometimes go on the ground and then they block it. But then I just hit them. I tell them to move out of my way. Because bats are not... Why did they even add them anyway? Bats are just some of the most annoying mobs in Minecraft history. I don't hate Minecraft, I love Minecraft, but the bats are annoying mobs. They just fly around. That's all they do, they just annoy you. They just squeak. And they just look around your build, being nosy. It's none of their bat's business. Oh my god. See right there, guys? That's what a bat does. It does just block your... Oh my god. Can I just fill in my floor, please, bats? Oh my god. You know what? I'm killing you. I don't really care. I'm killing you both. Because you are annoying. No, don't tell me. Swear to God. If there are more bats, I am going to freak out. Don't see any. I don't see any. So I guess I must have killed them. Are you fudging serious? These bats are just made of titanium or something. Finally, I've filled in my floor. Now I'm gonna fill in the ceiling. Bats are some of the most annoying mobs in Minecraft. The one place I would put them, they could just lurk around the roof. I don't really care, because there's nothing above there's nothing like, when I'm placing the ceiling, for example here, like this, see that, see, above the ceiling, the bats can just chill up here. I don't really care anyway, if they, you know. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna go kill some bats in a minute once I've done with my ceiling, because they're in my build. And I've luckily now I've actually placed the floor in, so that's good. So now Target officially has a floor. Now all we have to do is the outside and then the interior, and then it will be done. Also the road outside as well.
We're going to be using chisel quartz blocks. So, hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, you know where I'm going with this, because this would be a huge time commitment to do this on actual video. It adds a lot to the video. You guys won't want to watch me doing it. We're going to dig out all of the space around Target. We're going to fill it in with smooth stone. We're going to dig out the entire floor inside the Target. We're going to fill it with quartz. And and then we're going to fill the entire ceiling in with chiseled quartz blocks. So that's exactly what I'm going to do.
How did I miss a spot there? Come here. This little piggy went wee 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 all the way and died. Come on. Why is oh, there we go. Oh, that Dracula. Kill them. Are you serious? Ah, there we go. Swear to God, if those bats appear again, I'm going to freak out. Okay, I don't see any bats around. That's good. No bats around, so I guess the coast is clear. Okay, coast is clear. I think.
Hopefully it won't take me too long. Once I've done it, I'll be back. So this is what your target will look like once it's been 100% fully completed, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see,
I finished a target store, but we're not finished. We need to make the outside and inside of target. Fuck me. You know what? I'm killing them. Oh my god. Why are these bats annoying me? They always keep it. Stop it. Alright. So guys, I finished the target, but it's not done. My god sake. Why? Why? No. I can't escape from those bats.
The entire outside has been built. We have all of the facets of the building done. It's kind of split into three. We have the larger, smaller, and the entrance taken care of. All the windows, all of the roof. We have a walkway that goes all the way around our target, and we even have a cart return as well. And we also did the inside floor to prep for the next part of this tutorial, and we also did the ceiling.
Hold on, I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. Right, I'm gonna build rest of target. Stupid advert playing.
If you thought last year was bad, after the election they'll destroy your lives. Tell them they're dreaming.
Let's bike all the way to the front right.
Let's build the rest of target. Oh, my controller's low.
What's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the inside of your Target store. And also there's part 2. Just so that everybody is on the same page, this video is part 2. In part 1, we did this. We built all of this in the first part. This is part 2. If you haven't made all of this yet and you want to, check out the card system, description below and the top of the comment section for part 1 to this video. It will look exactly like this. That is what the thumbnail looks like. I have just shown it you on the screen right now, and that's all there is to it. Once you have made your target, once you are at this point, we can get started. So now that all of that is out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, to get things started, you are going to need all of these materials that I am now showing you on the screen right now.
Let's grab the materials we need for the outside of it. So, alright, we need concrete, grey concrete, yellow concrete, brick slabs, oak leaves and smooth stone. Smooth stone and flower pots. There we go.
Please do make sure that you have access to all of those and enough of those materials as well. We will be using some different ones later on too, but I will show you those before we need them. Pause the video if you have to. Make sure that you've got all that stuff. Make sure you're ready to build the inside and a little bit the outside of your target, and once you are ready, we can begin. So the first thing that we're going to do is work out all of the outside of target. We're going to make all of the car park and the surrounding walls and all of that fun stuff. We're going to begin this process by coming all the way to the front right hand corner of the target area. So where we have this smooth stone that kind of like borders around the target, we want to find the front right hand corner of it. We want to dig in the ground 4 rows in front of the corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want to dig left by 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can join that 7 block back to the path. Continue digging another 7 left of this corner block that we just connected. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And join that back to the path again. And we're going to do this one more time. We're going to take this row, we're going to extend it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to join it. So what we'll end up with is this shape. Kind of looks like a cone. Now we're going to fill this shape in using yellow concrete. And basically sometimes in front of stores and supermarkets and stuff you have like special spaces right in front of the store where perhaps people with disabilities can park, or perhaps it's like a taxi or a pickup point. It's basically just to add a little bit of a variance to your target. What we are now going to do is we are going to take the front right hand corner of these special bay areas here, and we're going to, from this corner, dig in the ground towards the entrance 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to dig a 5th row, but we're going to mark it out using white concrete. And we're going to now do this pattern until we kind of get towards the boundary of our target. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 in the ground, And then the fourth block is going to be white concrete. So if you count 4 and then place a white concrete in there, 1, 2, 3, 4, white concrete, 1,
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4, white concrete, 1, 2, 3, 4, white concrete. That should leave.
Let's see if it lines up. Yep, it does. And there we go.
2 rows on the end. Now these 2 rows, by the way, are going to be a pavement. I'm actually going to dig out the width of the area that we have put white concrete. That should leave us 2 rows on the end. Now these 2 rows, by the way, are going to be a pavement. I'm actually going to dig out the width of the area that we have kind of selected for our target. I'm going to dig out the width of these 2 rows that would be on the end of the white concrete row that we just placed. And I'm going to... stone in here. This is where the target will integrate with the rest of your city or town or wherever it is that you are building your target. We've always got to think about how they are going to meld into your environment. So, we have all of these rows of white concrete, don't we? But we're going to focus on this last row, and then we can kind of take it from there. I want you to extend this row of white to the left by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And of course you wouldn't just fill that in with white concrete as we go. You're going to leave a gap in the ground, a gap of 1, and then you're going to place a row of 4 brick slabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. I want you to leave a gap of 1 in the ground, and then I want you to dig 8 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you can fill all of those with white concrete.
1, 2,
I'll show you the end result of this in a moment.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
On the end of this row of 8, we're going to leave a gap of 4, or you can dig it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can leave or dig that out. But on the end of the row of 4, you want to place a brick slab, and then dig 5 more rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to place smooth stone inside here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place a brick slab on the end, and then we are going to either leave or dig out a row of 7. I'll dig it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And then we're going to dig a row of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Those 6 blocks are going to be white concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just put some brick on the end here, just so that you can visualize it a little bit better. So this is what we have. Now, hopefully that wasn't too complicated to do, but in doing that, you have actually done a huge amount of this build. And let me show you why, because it becomes very, very easy to build the rest of the car park area now that we have all of this in here too. So, we're going to begin with the brick slab area here. I want you to take the left slab and the right slab, and I want you to extend them both forwards. They want to extend forwards and become even and level with the first white concrete that we placed over there. Everything lines up. You can extend both of those rows forwards like this and join them together on the end, and you can see how those two correlate. In a similar way, you can take the slabs that you have here, and you can also extend them until they are the same length as the area over there, except you do not want to connect them this time. So you just want to kind of leave them as is. You can dig in between this particular pair of brick slabs. This is going to be a walkway. For those that don't have a car, perhaps they park all the way at the end of the car park and they don't want to walk through the actual driving area over there, except you do not want to connect them this time. So you just want to kind of leave them as is. You can dig in between this particular pair of brick slabs. This is going to be a walkway. For those that don't have a car, or perhaps they park all the way at the end of the car park and they don't have to walk through the actual driving area, this is a pavement sort of thing that people can like walk up. It's basically safer than just walking on like the tarmac or what have you. So we're going to place all of this sort of stone here, and you can kind of see how, once again, this will integrate into the city kind of right from the pavement, like right up to target. We're going to do some lines in the ground. Now these lines are going to be horizontal on the end of the smooth stone, and we want to have like a row of white horizontal across the end of the path, gap of 1, row of white, gap of 1, row of white, gap of 1, row of white. Now I don't know whether you have these in America, but these are zebra crossings. What this basically means is that pedestrians, such as yourself or anyone else, once you're stood here, cars are meant to let you walk across. So it's just like a nice, safe way to actually be able to like cross roads and stuff like that. Well, what else are we going to do? Well, where we have the white markers here over in the ground, we want to extend the white markers and we want to make them equivalent to the white road that we kind of extended earlier. So what that means is, and let me just extend them all across and then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about, is instead of me trying to explain everything. You just want all of those white concretes to be the same width as the original. But what's also fun, and what is quite helpful, is the fact that the white concretes here that are all separated by rows of 3, you want to do the same thing over here as well. So where you have this row of white concrete and that row, you want to do the same, right? So you want to figure out 3 rows in between all of the white concrete areas. You want to make all of the white concrete and this is basically just like
just had to sort my cursor, guys, because it's moving up.
place to park. So that's pretty much all it is. It's just parking bays. You can put cars in here if you wanted to. You could put a cart return, a trolley return, and you want to apply that as you go through. Like this is pretty much like a standard basic car park, right? It's probably nothing special, but it does look good. It does. it does fit into our target. But if you wanted something a little bit different, then of course you add it. So that's actually a huge amount of it done. That's all of the markings done. All we have to do is add some oak leaves to this particular part here. This white little planter. That's what this. Actually, a huge amount of it done. That's all of the markings done. All we have to do is add some oak leaves to this particular part here. This kind of like little planter. That's what this brick area is here. Equally so, you don't have to have car parking spaces over there on the left side. If you don't want to, you could add a sort of planter like that. That is kind of like the car park. I say kind of like, that is the car park. We can add a brick wall that goes all the way around the outside of our car park. I'm placing this on the white grid that we placed right at the beginning.
Just line up my cursor, guys, just because it just does this. So I'm just doing. Oh, there we go. Does that one? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. Wait a minute. How? Wait. That is a row of 69. So I guess he made the grid a little bit bigger. Okay, I don't know which row is at the back, so I'm just having a look at it.
Brick wall that goes all the way around the outside of our car park. I'm placing this on the white grid.
This cursor is starting to annoy me. Is it doing it? No, I don't think it's doing it anymore, so playback speed 0.5x.
I'm placing this on the white grid. Placed right at the beginning of the tutorial. When I say the beginning, brick wall that goes all the way around the outside of our car park. I'm placing this on the white grid that we placed right at the beginning of the tutorial. When I say the beginning of the tutorial, I mean in part 1. So this is the grid that we used to figure out where target was going to go inside of our grid and where it was going to be placed in our cities and such. So in placing the brick wall, you kind of get a really good idea. That's looking great. You get a good idea of how big this place is and how it's all kind of like segmented. And I'm going to make the wall 2 rows high so no one can jump the wall. If you wanted to, you could place, say, iron bars on top of the wall, or you could place some leaves on top of the wall, or whatever you wanted to do, you know. As long as it looks good to you, then that is fine. But once you place the wall and you've placed all of these markings, and once you've done all of that, you will be ready to completely dig out this entire area and replace it with grey concrete. Yes, you heard me correctly. This is not going to be a fun part of the tutorial. This is going to take a really long time. The plan is to dig out every single grass block that exists within the boundaries of our target area, which will look something like this. And
I'm just gonna add a way in and a way out. There we go. Dug all the grass out.
Once all of that has been dug out, there is but one thing to do, and that is to fill the entire area in with our old pal, grey concrete, which would, of course, once that's all done, like this.
There we go. The grey concrete has been filled in.
Whoa, did that take a long time, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm well aware that you will have to do that for yourself. That takes a really long time to do. Trust me, I know. I literally just did it. If you have to, pause the video.
Make the road in front of target. Make sure that you've got all that done. Simply rip up the grass, replace it with grey concrete. It will look so much better. This place looks insane now. And once you have done, we can mosey on into the inside of our build. Looks so much better. This place looks insane now. And once you have done, we can mosey on into the inside of our build. Whoops, take two. We can mosey on into the inside of our build and we can get things started in here. So the first thing that I want to do inside is literally just as we walk in. We're not even in the main store yet. I just want to add a couple of potted plants. This is going to be made out of light grey glazed taro in here. So the first thing that I want to do inside is literally just as we walk in. We're not even in the main store yet. I just want to add a couple of potted plants. This is going to be made out of light grey glazed terracotta, flower pot on top, dead bush inside, oak leaves on top of that, and preferably we can also extend it up another row, but we've got some light source here, so I'm just going to and I'm out of light grey glazed terracotta, flower pot on top, dead bush inside, oak leaves on top of that, and preferably we can also extend it up another row, but we've got some light source here, so I'm just going to leave it. And I'm just going to place two of these, just one each side, and later on we'll also carpet this area too, and then that'll just look a lot more appealing. But once you have added these two little bushes in here, I'd highly recommend also adding some sort of light source inside of the store. Now, I've added a lot of torches. We're going to be adding our own lights in later on, but for now we have to see where we're building, don't we? So that's pretty much necessary. For the next part of this, we're going to have to grab cauldrons, item frame. We will need coffee beans,
We will also need paper or empty maps, doesn't really matter which one. We need some red terracotta. We will need coffee beans. We will also need paper or empty maps, doesn't really matter which one. We need some red terracotta, tripwire hooks, quartz stairs, buttons, and we also need a flower pot as well. So I know that seems like a lot. So in a lot of stores and a lot of supermarkets and stuff, you'll often find that there are coffee machines, quite often near the entrance. So we're going to start in the front left-hand corner here of the store. We're going to move to the right one and we're going to place a cauldron. Right of that, we're going to place a red terracotta, and we're going to extend it up by 2. 1, 2. I want you to place 2 entire rows of red terracotta going right. I want you to extend the front left and front right sides forwards, with an upside down quartz stair in between those 2 rows, and a cauldron on the opposite side. We're going to stick a flower pot inside of this empty space with a tripwire hook above it. We're going to place item frames on the left side of the pot and the tripwire hook. In addition to that, above the cauldrons, we're going to stick beans in the item frames for the coffee machine, and we're going to stick paper in the actual cauldron ones. We're going to place buttons to the right of our machine, and then all we've got to do is put a little top on this thing. It's actually quite a cool looking coffee machine. It looks quite like one, honestly, so you might be able to even use this design elsewhere. It's not a bad looking coffee machine. You could even make it look a little bit better perhaps using some different colours, but that's what we're having so far, and that's pretty good. That's a cool part of the store. Leaving a gap of 1, we're actually going to need to grab more stuff before we do that. So now we have to make some other stuff. To make some other stuff, we're going to need light grey concrete. We are going to need some quartz stairs. We will need some white concrete. We'll also need some quartz slab, item frames, 2 kinds of chests, and just trap chest. You may also want to add some light, so I might recommend grabbing some torches, and perhaps you will also want to grab the dirt as well. So leaving a gap of 1 between this cauldron here, you want to place a light grey concrete, and you want to extend it upwards by 2 rows, 1, 2. And we're going to extend 3 rows of white, 1, 2, 3, right of the light grey. Place light grey concrete on the end, and then 3 more rows of white, 1, 2, 3, like this. We're then going to do another row of light grey concrete like this. And then you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, we're going to do that again. We're actually not, because from this back corner here of the build, we're going to want to place 1, 2, 3 rows of light grey concrete, and they want to extend forwards themselves 2 rows. So you can see there's actually, there's not that much of a gap, and we want to have this gap. You could also place an additional window here, by the way. That's also a possibility, and I might actually do that. So I'm going to leave a space for a window that we can fill in later. But what's important is that we continue our journey here where we have these rows of light grey, right? And we want to do a similar thing, and I'm just going to move the white and light grey together. I did not do that at all, did I? There we go. So along this back wall, you kind of want to do this pattern. You want to do 2 white, light grey, 2 white, light grey, and you want to do this so on and so forth until you'll know when to stop. We pretty much reach the other end of the store, and it won't take us too long. There we go. So you'll reach this end, and you won't be able to repeat the pattern again. There always has to be a light grey concrete on the end, so we're not going to do that. And later on, we can turn this into an exit. But what we have to do is make all of the light grey concretes and all of the white concrete. We're going to do that. And later on, we can turn this into an exit. But what we have to do is make all of the light grey concretes and all of the white concretes. We want to make them all 3 rows high. And then we're going to extend all of the light grey concretes forwards. We're not going to do the same with the white concrete though. So white concrete in between all of the light grey like this. Here we go. Like this. I said that a bit too early. We weren't quite there. There we are. So just like that. And then we want all of the light greys to extend out as far as this, which you might think to yourself, oh, that seems a little far. I disagree. So we're going to extend it all this far. And the reason being is because these are fridge/freezers. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it is rather hard to fill up a supermarket or a store. If you want to add different sections to this store, then feel free. But I've kind of generalised a lot of this, and it does look good, but it does have a little bit of repetition in it. So here we go. There's a load of freezers or fridges, and we're going to place quartz slabs all along the top of them like this, and we are going to fill all of these in with foodstuffs, so mostly meat actually. I think that you can actually get every single meat in these fridge/freezers like this. And what we're then going to do is we are going to grab two things. We'll skip out on the chest for a sec. We're going to grab sea lanterns, iron trapdoors like this, and we are going to place sea lanterns in the backs of the bottoms of these freezers like this. And I'm thinking about joining them together, or maybe placing some white concrete in front of the sea lanterns. So you guys be the judge. Light grey concrete. White concrete. I'm going to go with light grey because this is where the door is going to go. This is where the door is going to go for all of the fridges/freezers. So again, I'll let you guys be the judge. You can place whatever you like, and of course you can customise these in any way that you want. This whole place is meant to be customised. We're going to place iron trapdoors in front of the bottom top parts of the white concrete, which sounds complicated, doesn't it? That sounds so confusing to say. But basically, the bottom pair of white concretes, just place iron trapdoors because it just looks like a shelf. And then, if you want, you can either place another shelf, kind of like here. And then you can place item frames. I actually quite like that. That actually looks a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place item frames above the iron trapdoors like this, and then we're going to place another set of shelves, I think. So you can either do that, or I mean the
Alright guys, I'll be right back.
also like from the outside, it's quite good because it looks as if they're quite stacked up. So I've given you guys a couple of different ideas. And again, you know, feel free to. I mean, you could even you could have like one fridge like that, and then the other could have 2 shelves, and so on and so forth. You know. Do as you will, pretty much. So now that we've done that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to leave that at that, and we'll come back to it later, don't worry. What I do want to do is I want to head back on over to these original fridges, and I want to do a similar thing, except we're only going to extend the light grey concrete 1 row forwards, just 1 row. We're going to place upside down quarter stairs at the base of these. We're going to place item fridge on the upper half of the grey concrete 1 row forwards, just 1 row. We're going to place upside down quarter stairs at the base of these. We're going to place item frames on the upper half of the fridge slash freezers, these are more fridges. And then we're going to place quarter slabs on top. And you can place some torches on the outsides of these if you want to keep things nice and bright.
Check out the release playlist on YouTube.
And this is where the chests come into play. There we go. And you can actually like fill these up. You can place chests here, and it can kind of advertise what's in the fridge slash freezer. And I don't know, it just makes it look a little bit better. But what's important is that we want to have another one of these, but kind of over here. And the way that it works out is we want to take the sides of like the corners of this fridge, and we want to leave a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And on this 11th, we'll pick the sides of like the corners of this fridge, and we want to leave a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
And on this 11th block, we are going to, actually on the 12th block, because we want to leave a gap of that, we want to place another light grey concrete, so you can kind of see. So you can see how this levels out. You want to leave the gap of 11, and on the 12th block we place our light grey concrete, and we're going to extend it up by 2. 1, 2. We're going to place 3 upside down quartz stairs extending from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Light grey concrete. 3 more upside down stairs. 1, 2, 3. Light grey concrete. We can extend these concretes upwards like so. Just like this. We can extend the light grey concrete backwards, and we can place white concrete. middle here, just like this. We can extend the light grey concrete backwards, and we can place white concrete in between them, just in the middle here. And then on the opposite side, we want to place our light grey concrete extending out the back, and this is going to be a double-sided one. We're going to have upside-down quartz stairs at the bottom, and we're going to place quartz stairs all the way along the top, just like this. So we can extend it all like so. Perfect. So as with all of the other fridges, I am going to place alternating chests inside of the basic. To place item frames to signify what is actually in the fridge, and I'm also going to place a little bit of light because this place could certainly use at this point in time. Oh, and of course I have to do the exact same thing on the other side too, don't I? So all these chests right here, item frames, that is wonderful. So that is actually all of the fridges slash freezers kind of like placed. What we also want to do in between this pair of fridge slash is we want to place some kind of like fresh produce. And it works out to be that if you leave a gap of like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 in between each fridge slash freezer, you should be able to place, I do believe, a row of 3 grass or dirt or whatever it is you want to use, a row of 3 by, I do believe, 3 here. So like at the in between the end of this side of the fridge and freezer, and you also want to do the same thing on the other side. Now we'll have something that should look like this. And if you place some spruce trapdoors around it, or any kind of trapdoor as a matter of fact, I mean, you could use oak. See through them, but any other really. What we are going to do is we are going to hoe that, and we are going to grow stuff inside of it, and it'll just look like some sort of like fresh produce that you can grab. But we're not going to do that until later, when we grab all the seeds and all of the stuff to like fill up all of the fridge and the freezers and all of that kind of stuff. And as a matter of fact, we've almost somewhat hit a wall with this, ladies and gentlemen, because we now need a whole new set of materials. We need some more stuff so that we are able to progress onto the next part of this. So I'm going to do all of these, and we are going to grab a whole new set of stuff. So here are all of the materials.
Torches, bookshelf and rods, iron trapdoors, red concrete, stairs, fence, beacon, grey concrete.
We are going to use to finish off the rest of this tutorial. Please do make sure that you have access to all of those materials and enough of them as well, and do bear in mind that perhaps there might be some repeat materials, but trust me, they are 100% needed. Alright, so once you have managed to grab all of those things for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, we can get this part started. The first thing that we are going to do is make all of the tills or cash registers, or whatever you want to call it, the place where you pay for your stuff, assuming you're prepared. We want to line these up with the front set of windows towards the front of the build. And the way that we're going to do it is we are going to grab our red concrete, we're going to come to the front right hand corner of this like inside window. We're going to leave a gap of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on this fifth block we're going to place a red concrete. Extend it backwards by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then across one like that. And we're going to leave a gap of 2, and we're actually going to make the exact same thing. So if you leave a gap of 2, place 2 red concrete, gap of 2, 2 red concrete, gap of 2, 2 red concrete. And then you extend this right side forwards by 3 rows, then we can pretty much do the exact same thing that we did that first time. And we want to place... stairs extending inwards from that little like hook that is on the end, just like that. We want to place some grey carpet leading from where the seat is, which is the stairs, all the way to the end, so kind of like that. That's kind of like the belt that like drives us through. And we are also going to be adding like a little, you know how there's like a light that often tells you whether or not something's working? Well, that's what this is going to be. It's going to be 3 rows of birch fence extended up towards the inside of the ends of the like cash register area, and we're just going to place beacons on top, and that's just going to kind of look like, oh, this one's in use, this one isn't, this one's in use. These all happen to be in use because you don't have different colours of beacon. Well, not like this anyway. Like there's not like one that's got like a red centre, or you know what I'm talking about. So you know we've got like a whole set of them now, which is looking pretty good. What we also want to do is a load of shelves. Now, these shelves don't actually even have anything on them. These are pretty much just aesthetic, but they do the job really, really well. And we're going to be placing bookshelves. We're going to place them like this, right? So, where we have this fridge / freezer, it's actually a fridge. We're going to leave a gap of 2, bookshelf, 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 gap of 2, bookshelf. Like this, right? These bookshelves are actually going to line up perfectly with the spaces in between all of the freezers at the back. We want to have rows of bookshelves that are equal in length to the freezer or to the fridge to the side, spaced equally as the freezers are. So they're the length of the fridge and they are the width apart of the freezers, if that makes sense. And we are going to place some bookshelves on the top. We want to make them 2 rows high, just like this, which is going to be perfect. 2 rows high, and this is just going to represent like shelves. So like if you know, as you walk around the market, as you walk around the store, you're going to see loads and loads of shelves with loads of stuff on them. That's what these are basically. Like if you want to make this more complicated, you can. I did do that when I made a Kmart. I made it so that like you can place stuff on the shelves, but I actually think this happens to look really, really good anyway. Like I think it looks quite cool. And you're more than welcome to place some light on the ends of the shelves. As a matter of fact, I might even recommend it. You're gonna to really take liberty, like you're going to want to figure out what you want to do. Like if you want low price, you're going to have to have a lot. If you don't, you're going to have to be quite conservative. It's kind of up to you. I want to have hanging lights hanging down onto the shelves, and it's quite easy to figure out where these lights go. They're made out, you're going to have to be quite conservative. It's kind of up to you. I want to have hanging lights hanging down onto the shelves, and it's quite easy to figure out where these lights go. They're made out of end rods and iron trapdoors, and this is how it works basically, right? So where we have the end of this bookshelf here, we want to have an end rod. It's kind of hard to figure out where to place it. There we go. We want to have an end rod coincide with where this bookshelf is. And we want to have the same thing here on the other end, so like this. And we want to have end rods spaced 2 blocks in between each other, and they are going to coincide with where the bookshelves are. So they want to kind of like just hang down, and it's basically just going. Let me make sure I'm doing that in the right place. It's just going to highlight where these things are, so just like that, and that, just like this, perfect. We also want to have another pair of these. We're going to have one here, like pretty much like where the produce section is, and we kind of want to have one placed either side of the produce section. Make sure it's placed in the same place. I think mine is 1 row away, just like that. Have one placed either side of the produce section. Make sure it's placed in the same place. I think mine is 1 row away, just like that. And we also want to have them, of course, on the end here. It wants to, no, it would be there. So they still want to line up with the other end rods, but hopefully you guys can kind of see like the system there, right? Above all the bookshelves, and we also have just 2 either side of this section here. And see like the system on the end here. I have one placed on either side of the produce section. Make sure it's placed in the same place. I think mine is 1 row away, just like that. And we also want to have them, of course, on the end here. It wants to, no, it would be there. So they still want to line up with the other end rods, but hopefully you guys can kind of see like the system there, right? Above all the bookshelves, and we also have just 2 either side of this section here. And basically what you want to do is you want to place an iron trapdoor hanging in between both pairs of the end rods. And it's going to take you a little while to do because they're quite kind of annoying to place, to be quite honest. They're a little bit annoying to place, but it's well worth doing though. It will look adds a little bit of character to the build, honestly, once it's done. So that's what the lights are going to look like, and these are just going to hang throughout. So they're going to connect together long ways like this. They're not going to connect together, well, short ways, I guess you'd say, wouldn't you? So yeah, they're going to hang together long ways just like this. And
Yes,
it's
there
going
we
to
go.
give a decent amount of light. Again, you could add more light. Some parts of this store are still dark. So you've got to say to yourself, like, do you just make it so that the entire store is 100% insanely lit, or do you, or at a certain point you're like, oh, it's quite bright in here already. I mean, it's not going to get so much brighter than this, like unless we add some more. But yeah, it's something that I'm kind of struggling with. Like, and I don't even have the torches in the original, so yeah, it's something that you've just got to sort of think about, calibrate, and think about for yourself. So we'll add all of these, and also these here too. We just want to add all of these, and it is a bit of a tedious process, quite honestly, but well worth it, I think. Definitely well worth it, because it's a cool hanging light. It's stuff that you do see, like supermarkets have like weird lights, weird in a good way though, like weird in an interesting way, and I kind of like them. So I've tried to emulate this here, and I did a similar thing using carpet, end rods and carpet. In Kmart, because I have also made Kmart, so if you're in kind of like I want to build giant stores, kind of like if you're in that sort of mode, and there's also a Kmart that has a completely different interior to this, although I do prefer this one, if I was telling you guys the truth. Yeah, there we go, so now we have all of those lights, which is wonderful, it's all nice and well, it's well lit up and all of that. What I'd also like to do is, also, we should add some carpet. We're going to need the we're going to need some seeds, and we're going to
Bam 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 bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim. Bam.
all of this meat as well, but let's start off by hoeing these grass areas here, and let's place different seeds inside. This will look good once it's grown. It looks a little bit good. Now perhaps, but it actually looks quite good when it's grown, and it makes sense once you fill in all the item frames and stuff. You can add some carpet. Look good once it's grown. It looks a little bit goofy now perhaps, but it actually looks quite good when it's grown, and it makes sense once you fill in all the item frames and stuff. All of this meat as well, but let's start off by hoeing these grass areas here, and let's place different seeds inside. This will look good once it's grown. It looks a little bit goofy now perhaps, but it actually looks quite good when it's grown, and it makes sense once you fill in all the item frames and stuff. You can add some carpet that kind of leads you in and out the store. Like, I like the idea of having some like red carpet that kind of like leads you through the doorway here, and add as much or as little of this as you like. I like the idea of having some carpet like in between the fridges, like in between these little two produce bins or whatever you would call it, so like here. And I like the idea of having something here. We'll probably have a horizontal one too, so red carpet here and here, and probably maybe say the width of the util area here, and also that kind of looks like a happy face, or maybe a clown face. Hang on. If I would have left out some of the white there, or some of the red, then that would have actually looked like a face. It kind of does, though, doesn't it? Like if I do this, that kind of looks like a face, or a rabbit, or something like that. Anyway.
Look at that.
The point of the matter is, we want to have this. So, some nice red carpet, just to make it look a little bit more alluring, a bit more inviting, perhaps. Maybe figure out some more places to add torture than this. So, some nice red carpet, just to make it look a little bit more alluring, a bit more inviting, perhaps. Maybe figure out some more places to add torches, because again, it is a little bit dark. It is. I mean, if you wanted to, you could, if you stuck them in the middle of the aisles, that would probably do it. That would be a sufficient amount of light. But it depends how many torches you want to see. It depends if that would bother you or not. But I think that is rather well lit up for the most part. These seeds, I guess it's not. Is it not well lit enough in this area for these seeds? If you were to bone meal it immediately, I think it'd actually be okay. But what we're going to do now is we're going to fill up this back line of fridges. We're going to need birch vents and blue stained glass. But if you were to bone meal it immediately, I think it'd actually be okay. But what we're going to do now is we're going to fill up this back line of fridges. We're going to need birch vents and blue stained glass. But more importantly, we're going to need a lot of... What we're going to do now is we're going to fill up this back line of fridges. We're going to need birch vents and blue stained glass. But more importantly, we're going to need a lot of meat and stuff, or whatever it is you want to put inside these fridges. So for the fridges, I'm going to recommend you fill them up with food of some sort. So any sort of food that would make sense to be frozen, or it doesn't even matter if it doesn't make sense, you know. Any sort of food that would make sense to be frozen or would not make sense to be frozen, you can kind of choose. You can repeat yourself, it doesn't really matter. It's all for show anyway, it all just looks good. And once you've filled up all of those, I'm going to recommend you place...
Hello, Really Con. Welcome to the live stream.
They're not even openable, so that's why it's like, it doesn't really matter what you put in them, as long as you're happy, as long as you think it looks alright. You can put a variety in there, that would probably look best, but for the sake of, you know, easiness, and for the sake of the fact that this is not my, you know, this isn't in my actual city, this is kind of like a tutorial world. If it were in a city, I'd probably pay a little bit more attention to detail, but that's something that you're going to have to figure out for yourself. but these are just some nice big fridges that you can put stuff in. They need a handle. That handle is going to be birch fence. It's going to be placed either to the left or right, whichever side you want to put it on, really, in the middle of the glass. And it will just look like a door handle, kind of like that. And you'll see that once you fill in the item frames, it really does give the place quite a bit of character. Just like that, it's looking good. Now, when it comes to the fridges as well, in the item list, I'm sure that it will have given you some instructions, but pretty much you're just going to want to put any sort of food stuff. So whether that be mushrooms, whether that be eggs, whether that be I never know where to find them, but like carrots or apples. Where are we? I always have to go in the big menu for this. Where are we? Is it further down? Or wait, I think that maybe we probably went a bit too far. Did we go too far? This entire video is going to be me trying to search for carrots and apples. There we go, perfect. So we can have like potatoes, carrots. You know, you can place all sorts of different things in here. So as long as it makes sense, I mean, you could even look for carrots and apples. There we go, perfect. So we can have like potatoes, carrots. You know, you can place all sorts of different things in here. So, as long as it makes sense, I mean, you could even like watermelon and stuff as well. You guys get the idea. Make them look all good. And once you've done that, I mean, like I said, if you bone meal these areas, it'll actually immediately grow. It shouldn't pop out. Sometimes it pops out. I think if it's not sure if there's enough light or something, I don't quite know. But like if you immediately bone meal it, that solves the problem. We're looking pretty good in here. I mean, the only thing that you might want to do, like I mentioned earlier, is you may want to have like a window here, which would just be made out of black stained glass paint, nothing fancy, just a little window here. We have an ulterior exit, perhaps a fire door, perhaps something else. Like this could even lead to like a little warehouse if you wanted to build one for yourself. But we could have like a little exit here. This could be made out of like, if it's like a fire door, then perhaps like red concrete above it, and perhaps like just a couple of doors. So nothing too crazy really. If you want to add some like chests above the windows here, then I think that could look cool too. So just to make it look like extra stuff if you want to add some like chests above the windows here, then I think that could look cool too. So just to make it look like extra stock and stuff. You could hang lanterns up here too. You could have paintings above the windows here, then I think that could look cool too. So just to make it look like extra stock and stuff. You could hang lanterns up here too. You could paintings here. It depends how far you want to go with it. I'm sure that you guys will try to figure out. Like I don't like this, or I like that. You know, you kind of sort of figure out like how you want things. So like you can place like these here and not like that. Well, that's probably not what I want. Can we not? There we go. So.
No. Yep.
You know, you can kind of just you can play some paintings and stuff, and they like advertisements and posters and all sorts of fun stuff like that. You can do that above there. But ladies and gentlemen, we've actually sort of completed this place. This is what the inside looks like, and I'm pretty happy with it. I hope that you guys are too. So this is what your target should look like and stuff like that. You can do that above there. But ladies and gentlemen, we've actually sort of completed this place. This is what the inside looks like, and I'm pretty happy with it. I hope that you guys are too. So this is what your target should look like once it has been 100% fully completed, ladies and gentlemen.
I have finished and built a target. Whoa, guys. This was a long live stream, but we're finally done. Wow. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me building a target. If you did, guys, enjoyed this video, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video from me, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a lovely day, guys. Peace out.